And like honestly, had you eaten enough box, I don't think you would have written Peaches and Cream like that.
Nah,
because shit does not taste like Peaches and Cream.
No,
you know what I mean?
No, I was hungry. And I was hungry, and I didn't have that much money. Me and my brother split a chicken sandwich that day. Went in the studio, and they had that beat for over 2 months, and they were like, "Man, you hear anything?" And I was like, "Na na 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 na," and I just start humming the melody immediately. Na 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 na. And I was like, "Peaches and Cream," and then like Peaches and Cream, and I was just like, "Yeah, man, it's like let's do something like nasty." Even Puppy was like, "Yo, Playboy, you sure Peaches and Cream?"
Woo! All right, everybody. This is your boy, Maiwan, here at Dash Radio on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Today we got what am I saying? The most accredited, just greatest songwriter of my time.
Thank you.
Poo Bear, how are you doing?
Happy birthday. Thanks for having me, man. Thanks for saying that. I really appreciate you saying that. Thank you.
No, absolutely, man. You know, you to me Pooh Bear has the model career that I think every artist should want to go through, because you came into the game at 16.
Yeah, yep, 17 with We Could Do It Anywhere with 112.
But you were quiet about it.
Yeah, I didn't tell anybody.
Didn't tell anyone. It took until Bieber.
Yeah, nobody really knew about me until Justin Bieber, strange enough, which is cool.
And that was by design, right?
I never really cared. I just wanted to be able to buy my mom a house. I never wanted to be famous. I never really cared about it. I didn't understand until after I worked with Justin how much it helped for people to know that I existed. It helped with my career as a songwriter. So for years, I was like, I'm just in the background. Nobody knows I exist. I'll just write. As long as I get my publishing and my credit, I'll be good. And then when Justin started to put me out there and say my name, it definitely helped with my career. And I was like, whoa, maybe I should have been a little bit more, out in front. Not like in all the videos, but just a little bit more noticeable.
Absolutely. But I feel like do you ever wish you were still in the shadows or in the background?
I love the shadows in the background. I just learned that being in the shadows in the background only gets you so far. And for me, I never want to feel like I made it. I never want to feel like I'm there. So if I'm still growing, then, staying in the background in the shadows doesn't show any growth on my end. And I just started looking around. I'm like, whoa, I want to do so much more, outside of what I'm doing. I have to step out. I have to be visible. People have to be able to connect the dots and say, oh, that's the same person who wrote that song when I lost my virginity, or the same person that lost that song where, I was going through this problem and it helped me through these issues for Hard to Face Reality, or, so being more visible definitely for me, it just shows growth. And I feel like growth is necessary.
Absolutely. I think that you had hit a ceiling, especially after Caught Up, where you have written a hit single.
And then after that was Chris Brown.
Yeah.
I Could Transform You, She Ain't You. Those were records.
So there had to have been another level for you to get to.
Yeah, and I never imagined working with Justin Bieber. That was never a dream. I never wrote it down. It just was written. It just turned out like that. So. And
when you were writing for Bieber, there's something so amazing about that. You were Bieber's exclusive songwriter, right, for years. Yeah,
I didn't ask for that title. That was something that he kind of put on me, and I was just blessed to be able to write anything with him, let alone to be able to do 3 albums with him. So definitely, it kind of turned into that, which is cool. But at the same time, everybody grows and evolves. So. You see, on Justice, I did not participate on Justice as much. So
yeah, but I think that's natural, as you said, right?
Absolutely natural.
Because look, man, you know the craziest thing about Pooh Bear? I'm doing my research this week, and I've been a big Pooh Bear fan since I was a kid. Since I remember making the band, I'll never forget Diddy bringing you on making the band and telling the motherfuckers like, this motherfucker wrote the 112 hits. What he says goes. I just remember Diddy he demanded so much respect onto you.
Yeah.
As an adolescent myself, I started doing my research, and I'm like, oh, this motherfucker's not playing. He wrote his first hits at 16 while in high school.
Yeah.
Then I got a chance to meet you, and I'm like, at this point, I'm like, this motherfucker has done it all. But you kept doing more. Yeah. Despacito, #1 on the Latin charts.
Yeah.
And then you have more work.
90 weeks, #1. I'm not even sure what that is. 90 weeks. I think 52 weeks is a year.
Yeah.
So it was like almost 2 years. Like 90 weeks.
Okay, so then this happened. So now you've done pop with Bieber. You've done R&B with 112 and Usher.
Reggae.
You've done hip-hop with Lupe.
Reggae with Jacure, Movado. Yep, big reggae hits.
And then all of a sudden when Poo Bear, when we're like, Poo Bear's done it all, there's nothing more for him to do. You put out 10,000 hours and go #1 in country.
Yeah, that was Justin. Thank you, Justin, for including me. You know, Justin reached out and was like, "Hey, man, do you hear anything on this?" You know, the song was done, and I went in, and he's just like, "If you hear anything you want to, flip or, so he just allowed Justin. I appreciate him allowed me to come in and be a part of that record, to put my DNA in that record. So, and it went. Yeah, I didn't know it was gonna do what it did, but it was like 20 weeks at #1.
Pooh, what is next? What
next, man? What is the Book of Nabeel? That's my album where my single that's out now, the video that just dropped last week, Favorite Human.
Yeah.
So that's coming out this week, Thursday night. In a couple of nights, the Book of Nabeel, which is me as an artist. I put out Pooh Bear Presents Birthday Music in 2017, but it was me with my friends, and there was records that we did together. This is like my first album. I have no features on it.
No features at all?
No, it's just me, and I'm singing, and I'm in the best shape of my life. And then on top of that, on top of the Book of Nabeel, there is a rock project coming called Guns and Toilet Paper that
you're doing a rock project too?
Yeah, it's done. The album's done. We got records, shout out to Tommy Lee. He's on a couple records. We got a rock, it's really coming. It's real rock music, and we're proud of it. And it's coming out soon, man. It's coming out in December. Like, we got a single drop. We got another single dropping in December.
Wait, December of this year?
Yeah.
Okay, so
December 2nd.
I'm perplexed. Is there any genre that Pooh Bear hasn't attacked yet and not gone #1?
I've currently worked with a group called Mystics. They're actually out of India. So I'm
India.
Yeah, so
like
that's something
Bollywood, Indian music.
Bollywood. So I want to do with it. I just want to, I'm using my frequencies and melodies with some real native, Indian culture, and there's so many different sounds and genres in India and different lands, with different music in the north and the east and the south. And so for me, it's just combining. I want to stay inspired, and I want to do stuff. I want to always be ahead and start trends. When I worked with J Balvin in 2015, I wanted to be able to do something with reggaeton that crossed it over to mainstream. Mm-hmm. I didn't know with who or how. And then, after being able to be a part of Despacito Remix,
90 weeks later.
Yeah, opened up a door where now, you can hear Latin music on mainstream radio, and it's not a big deal that they're not singing in English. It's like normal now.
Absolutely.
So I want to do that with Indian music. I want to do that. I worked with a band called Mystics, and we got some crazy dance music. If you notice, there's always a Bali set in every DJ set.
Yeah.
That has like the, getting Arab money, Punjabi
MC.
But it's usually like 10 minutes or 8 minutes.
Yeah.
It's not a lot of music there. So my thing is like, I've been making music to add on to their set. So it's not just, their normal, typical Bollywood set. It's more like more melodies and more mainstream melodies crossed with some real native quarter tones and real Indian scales. And for me, I feel like that's next on top of the rock music. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we want to make rock cool again.
Yeah.
So
if you can make rock cool again,
yeah.
Well, even absent of however that record does and however the Bollywood records do, I'm gonna say this wholeheartedly from the bottom of my heart. To me, when I look at the scope of music, the most talented and influential people, I put you up there with the Quincy Jones, the Pharrell Williams.
Thank you, man.
I go Quincy, Pharrell, Pooh. There's probably a few other I'm missing.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Being put in that same. Wow, that's crazy.
It's the truth though. Like
Thank you.
Okay, so I got a gift. I gotta give you. I do this thing, Pooh Bear, where I give every artist an album.
Amazing.
From either my CD collection or for you, I went and dig in. I'm gonna give you 2 albums. I just want you to tell me what these mean to you, because I want to go over 2 different dynamic parts of your life.
Amazing. Okay.
First album is here.
Oh wow. Do I open it up?
Yeah.
Amazing.
This is a CD.
Wow. What is this? Stevie Wonder?
Stevie Wonder, Songs in the Key of Life.
Why'd you just give me this? This is what I was thinking about.
Because
right when you were saying I give out something, I was thinking about Stevie Wonder.
Really? Mm-hmm. I had to give that to you because you have one of the craziest stories. When you were, I think, 8 or 9,
I used to
your
sneak.
Family had to move because of hurricane, right?
A tornado tore our apartment up, so we were homeless for a year and a half. Me and my mom. In that
year and a half, it was, I don't know if it was this album. I'm assuming it was.
So right before the tornado, so just so you know, I wasn't allowed to listen to I wasn't allowed to listen to secular music. My dad was a preacher. My mom was really religious. So being, 6 or 7, I used to sneak and listen to, I just called it Say I Love You.
You had to sneak to listen to Stevie?
At 3 in the morning.
Wow.
Or Send Her My Love with a Dozen Roses. Like, I used to sneak and listen to those songs with a cassette player that I found on the street. I found a cassette, A-B side, on the street. And I used to sneak and listen to it, and that's definitely what inspired me to want to. I was like, I don't know what I want to do in the music business, but I want to make people feel the way this guy's made you feel.
Yep. Well, I chose Songs in the Key of Life because to me that's the best album of all time. And I had to give you that because I felt like when I discovered that is yours to keep, man.
Thank you, man. I wasn't allowed to buy CDs. I wasn't allowed to do hear any. I used to listen to trumpet music, like Christian trumpeter music, where I would just listen to this guy. He would just be playing but it was spiritual, and that's what I was influenced by.
Wow, and Stevie had to have been the first time where you were able to fully.
I heard words, and it wasn't like Hosanna. It wasn't like Christian music forced on me, and it was it inspired me. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was like, I just want to be a part of music that makes people feel the way this music makes me feel. And that was definitely my first love. My first true love came from listening to Stevie Wonder.
Wow. Well,
thank you so much.
Of course. We got one more.
Really?
I got one more for you because this is another.
Where you getting these from?
Dynamic. Amoeba.
Turtles?
Amoeba, right down the street.
Blockbuster? Oh, okay. I'm like, man, they closed Turtles forever ago. Wow.
I had to give you that 112
Peaches and Cream
single.
This guy danced with me on it too, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I did both these records.
I know. Those were the records that your career, because you had written Anywhere, which was huge.
Yeah,
right?
I was 17.
But when these records came out, all of a sudden Pooh Bear is probably the hottest songwriter out.
You know what? Strange enough, probably. Mm-hmm. Because Peaches and Cream, once again, you can hear that I had zero influence. So when you hear my songs, you can't compare them to anything before.
Absolutely.
So what does Peaches and Cream sound like? Nothing. What did Dance With Me sound like? Nothing. Caught Up. She Transform You. I can go on and on and on, and it's because I don't listen to music, and I'm not subliminally influenced by other people's music, so I don't have to worry about somebody be like, oh, that sounds like Marvin Gaye, or that sounds like.
Yeah.
I wasn't allowed to listen to those people.
But do you still don't listen to outside music?
No, I don't. Yeah, because I don't want to be influenced subliminally.
Really? So you don't listen?
I don't listen to music. Period. If I'm in the car, I'm not listening.
Wait. You don't listen to music?
No, not at all.
What do you listen to when you're in the car? Long ride, 2 hours on the highway.
I'm not. First of all, I'm not going to be in the car for 2 hours. Never in my life. But I'm on the phone. I'm talking. I'm not listening to music.
This is perplexing. I remember Kanye once said he doesn't like to listen to what's hot right now because he doesn't want it to impact what he's making. Is that how you feel?
I just don't listen to music because I don't want to be subliminally. I don't want to be subconsciously taking on somebody's melody, and then I hear music and I start writing. And I don't remember where that came from, but it came from something that I heard.
Yeah.
And it's too late because I love it and the artist loves it. Next thing you know, it's on the radio and you're like, I got a lawsuit. Because it's like, yo, that's this melody from this verbatim. So I just avoid listening to music. And it's no different. I'm going to be honest with you. If you cook French fries all day, you're not going to leave home. You're not going to leave work and go cook some more fries, or even go get fries, or even go buy, or have anything to do with a French fry until you have to go back to work again.
Yeah.
So I look at music I listen to music when I'm in the studio and I'm creating, I'm listening to music. Outside of it, it's my job, it's my life. I love it. It started off as a hobby, it started off as a love and turned into a career. But ultimately, somebody that cooks fries all day, they're not gonna leave their job, leave McDonald's, go buy some more fries to eat on the way home. And then when they get home, be like, babes, can you throw some fries in the oven? You know what I'm saying? That's like
This
me.
is
It's
hilarious.
like I'm in the studio,
though.
right? Go to the studio, make
Yeah.
music. Like, oh my God, I just was in there for 8 hours. Let me get in my car and listen to more music. No.
You
Let me
probably-
go home and listen to more. I don't even sing in the shower. I don't even sing at
God.
home. I'm sorry to let you guys down.
No, not let down at all.
But I don't listen to music. I don't listen to music. I haven't listened to music ever in my whole life. Like, there's songs that I like the song. I don't know who sings them. I don't own any. Like, thank you so much. Like, I don't own any CDs. I don't own any.
But you know what? This kind of makes sense as to why your music is so one-off and original. You know what I mean? Because you're not. That's a great point. Because when you listen to, like, for example, Robin Thicke's Blurred Lines, I don't think Pharrell sampled Marvin, but he had clearly heard it and recreated the essence.
Yeah, that whole vibe.
That's
the vibe.
Yeah. So you don't
That's
let
scary.
any vibes in.
I don't have any.
Wow.
Mine come from, I created my own sound. So that's what was so hard. Like when I travel, when I hear music now, I hear so much of my influence melodically.
Yeah.
That it took me a while not to, I used to look at it half empty and not half full because I didn't pull that from anybody. Like that came from me, and it took years and years of my music to become a sound. When people hear it, be like, oh, that sounds like Pooh Bear. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't be like, oh, that got a hand of Earth, Wind, and Fire. Got like, oh, I hear Stevie in there. It's none of that.
Yeah.
So I used to get upset. Now I can go around the world, turn on any music or any radio, and I hear my melodies, right? But I have to be like, and my friends are like, Pooh Bear, you gotta realize your melodies have been influencing the radio for so long that people have created a standard, and when they're creating, they'll be like, what would Pooh Bear do? Like, what melody? So I had to take that and be like, yo, I understand it's a form of flattery, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I created that sound.
Absolutely.
So other people that, are influenced by other producers and writers, they're influenced by whoever that writer or producer was influenced by, ultimately.
Yeah, certainly, yeah.
So when they hear it, it's like, I love you, but why do I love you? Because you took pieces of this other element that I love. And then that person took pieces from me. There anywhere doesn't sound like anything. We could do it anywhere. Doesn't sound like anything. All these records that I've done, they don't sound like anything. They're not inspired by any sound or any music.
Yeah.
So
even the Bieber records, like,
they don't sound like anything.
No, nothing.
Recovery, All That Matters. Where Are You Now sounds like nothing. What Do You Mean sounds like nothing. All these songs for me, so it was just hard for me to deal with people taking my sound because it's literally a sound that I created and I didn't get it from another person. It hit me differently, but I'm like, oh, I just got to keep pushing music forward.
Exactly.
Keep doing what's next, stay ahead of it. And that's it. And I appreciate it, and I understand that my music has been a heavy influence on a lot of creators. And now it's flattering. It just pushes me harder, keeps me on my toes, and I'm like, all right, I gotta come up with whatever the next melody is and the next wordplay, the next style of format of songwriting.
And you do it so seamlessly. So back in like 2013, 14, I had the opportunity to work with you.
Yeah, we worked, I
will never forget how quick you delivered 8 bars. I still have them in my head. Like, you walked in the booth and you were like, yeah, just give me 8. We played it. I want to say within 5 minutes, maybe less.
Yeah.
You had it done, written, all on the spot.
Yeah.
You layered it, you stacked it, and you were like, cool, work with that. I'll be back next week.
Yeah, man.
You are so efficient with this shit.
Thank you, man. It's one of those things that I feel like if you do it for over 10 years, you should be okay at it. Anything you do for 10 years, you should kind of like have it kind of figured out.
But I noticed you didn't write anything in
I don't write anything down.
Session. You don't write period since the beginning, or is there a point where it stopped?
I stopped writing in like 2002.
So like Usher's caught up.
Yeah, no,
I
didn't write that down. Yeah, no.
Oh my, you were like the Jay-Z of songwritings. Jay does that.
I'm gonna tell you the secret. It's like, if I'm gonna create it, if it's gonna come from my mind, and then I'm gonna sing it, right? Writing it down is just another step. It's just the extra step. If I know I'm just gonna sing what I'm gonna write down, why don't I just record what I'm thinking of as I'm creating it and I have it?
That's very true.
You know what I'm saying? Why would I add the extra step? And then when I go to sing it back, it might not even feel the same because I'm reed singing now.
Yeah.
So if I'm coming from the top of my head, I'm like, let me put the first line down. Amazing. I hear the second line, put that down. Third line, it's all coming from me. It doesn't sound like I'm sing reading. It's the energy that I'm coming up with it in real time. I'm not losing any momentum or any energy by going to a pen and a pad or even my phone and let me write this down. Like, nah, if it's dope enough and it's amazing, you're not gonna forget it. So if I create something that's amazing, I'm excited already that I just came up with this, record that. Come up with another line, amazing. I just feel like when you start typing and writing, it kind of confines you and it puts you in this box, like this invisible box where it's like, now can you say everything you wanna say?
Is it gonna feel the same, sound the same?
Or are you worried about this line not being long enough because it doesn't match up with the amount of line above it? It turns into this whole nother psychology. Like, when I'm just creating, I don't know what it's gonna look like when somebody writes it down. I'm not writing it down, but usually somebody has to write it down when it makes it onto a song.
Absolutely.
For lyrics, you know? So it's for me, it's always just the faster. Like, I figured out everything in life is like, how can we do it better, faster, and get the same results, get better results? And it's like, oh, if I could take out a step, I don't got to write stuff down. I could just create it and actually, record it as I'm creating. It's momentum, and I'm saving time, and I'm getting results in real time. And I stopped stacking. Like, I just stopped putting a bunch of stacks because it was like a music industry standard. It was like, well, why are you stacking? It was like, because the last 100 people stacked their songs in the last 30 years.
I remember you told me that. You actually told us to erase all the stacks because we were giving the record to you to show to Bieber. Back in the day, 8 years ago, he was preaching this. You told me, you were like, don't. You're like, just give me the best
Stacking
raw vocal. Give me the one that's there.
Yeah, because it's like, at that point, it all sounds like a guy's group, and you can't really hear the identity with the stacks because anybody that can stack, it sounds the same, and then the tune doesn't help it. So, but one track, my thing is like, if what I'm saying, if the concept is strong enough and the melody strong enough, I don't need stacks. People stack to try to overcompensate for what's missing or what's lacking.
Very true.
And it still doesn't mean they can stack it. It still doesn't mean that it's gonna resonate with people. It's just bigger now. It's just thicker.
Yeah.
But you notice that the biggest hits, I Will Always Love You, Whitney Houston, I can go back a list. There's no stacks.
Absolutely.
It's just the concept is strong enough and the melody is strong enough. Look at Drake. Look at the amount of hits Drake has had and where his hooks, he's like, God's plan. God's plan. I just been in my door. It's just a strong concept and a strong melody. He didn't stack it because everybody else in the music industry from the 90s and 20s was like, yo, stack it. Like, why? Just because everybody else stacking it.
Yeah.
But when I see Drake, I always be like, yo, thank you for putting out so many hits with single track vocals because he reprogrammed people the way they listen, the way they look at music.
Absolutely.
And Lil Wayne did it first with like, How to Love. Lil Wayne did it with records where it's like his hook is like one track, the whole song, a milli.
Yeah.
It's no stacks, but he's saying the most sickest metaphors and similes that you don't even think like, well, this shit not even stacked. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because you're satisfied. You're neurologically satisfied. You're sonically satisfied. So stacking is dead. Not to say that every now and then it's cool, but honestly, I feel like if you have to stack your hook, it's not strong enough hook. It's my thing.
That is a word of it. That is a key piece I'm gonna take from this. If you have to stack your hook, it's not strong enough.
It's not strong enough. You're trying to overcompensate. You're trying to take up for something that's not there, and it might just not be the concept might not be strong enough. The melody might not be hooky enough. It might not sound like a hook. And a lot of people just stack it because they're just programmed to sing like, oh, when this person did their hook, they put 10 stacks. So it's like, yeah, but it didn't make it better.
But what about like Michael? Michael used to stack
Michael
like a
used to put
motherfucker.
100 stacks.
Yeah, exactly.
It's still great concept.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Like, you can still stack on a hit hook and still be a hit. And with him, he had done it so much. He had background vocals. He had a bunch of different things that we don't even really use background vocals anymore. We don't even do that. We don't even have background vocal singers. So it's just so much has evolved and so much has changed from Michael Jackson's era. And it's normal. Like, I feel like music is supposed to evolve to that. will it ever go back to stacks? It could possibly turn back into stacking, you know. But at the end of the day, you just have to have a strong enough hook, strong enough melody.
I love that, Pooh. Every time I have seen Poo Bear, I have absorbed some kind of gem that's just made me a better version of myself.
Thank you, man.
So, but before we go, because I know you got a busy day, when's your project dropping?
The Book of Nabeel is coming out Thursday night this week, man.
The Book and the Bill.
The Book of Nabeel.
The Book of the Bill. Okay.
The Book of Nabeel is my album that literally I partnered up with my brother named Nabeel. He's a poet.
Okay.
And he had a book of poems. And I was like, yo, I want to turn these into songs and put new hooks. And because lyrically it was so advanced, I'm like, yo, this would be crazy. And it would show so much growth on my end as a songwriter to partner up with a wordstress and make songs out of these poems. So the Book of Nabeel, which he didn't want it to be the name of the album, but I'm like, bruh, these are poems from your heart, and your name is Nabeel. And I think it's a cool name, and it sounds mysterious. So the Book of Nabeel is real. It's out this weekend. It's out this Thursday. The video, Favorite Human, is out. Distant Shore is on that project. The Day You Left came off that project. And that's my new baby that's dropping Thursday night.
That's so exciting, man. Pooh Bear, you were just doing side missions at this point. You said, I'm going to do an album with a poet off his poetry.
Yeah.
And then you said, I'm doing a rock album afterwards.
Yep, Guns and
then you got
Toilet Paper.
the Bollywood.
Yeah, man. Yep, that's
Pooh Bear.
all. Just, staying inspired, man, and just trying to push. I feel like one of my purposes here on earth is to push music forward, push water forward, push anything that I'm invested in. What's next? Like, who's going to make what's next? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We just get tired of like the same thing and like, okay, who's gonna fuse Indian music with mainstream American music? Who's gonna fuse English mainstream music with reggaeton? Who's gonna, you know what I'm saying? So everything that I feel like I'm a part of or, is like pushing what's next to come, that more the next generation can grow from that, and then maybe they can take it and go on to the next, what's next. We can't just keep making the same music and recycling the same songs. Every rap song sounds the same. Every pop song sounds the same.
They all got the same drums. Like,
what's next?
There's one set of drums that work for a whole year, and they change it out.
Yeah, I'm like, what's next, man? So that's my thing. It's like, yeah, I wanna fuse. I fuse, Indian melodies and with mainstream frequencies. And yes, we did a Guns and Toilet Paper rock album. That's
Guns and
really
Toilet Paper.
Official, yeah, authentic run, and that's
real
like
rock. It's like rock,
real rock.
with the
Yeah,
band.
we got Tommy Lee featured on there. You know what I'm saying? So he co-signed it, which is amazing because he's in his own band. He's in Motley Crue. So and they're on their own. They're on a world tour. So for him to be, we're shooting a video in December. The single that's coming out is called Contraband. I'm excited about that. So it's just about, man, being inspired and making music and, trying to do what people say you can't. Like, they said that, there was no way to fuse reggaeton with mainstream, and we did it. There was no way to, 10,000 Hours crossed over. It's a pop radio from country radio. Even with Indian music, with rock music, we know that rock is not as popular as it used to be. So our goal is, why not? Let's put some new frequencies to it. Let's put some melodies in there that move your emotions, and let's keep it grungy and dirty, and let's really, let's try to make rock cool again, even if it's just for the time that we're out. We want to make it cool again. We want people to know that it exists. And I just feel like it's fun, man. It keeps life interesting.
Pooh, you are an absolute gem. I'm going to say this to wrap this up here. I am honored and ecstatic that I got to live and live my best years in the Poo Bear era.
Thank you.
From Peaches and Cream to, which, by the way, this motherfucker told me he wrote Peaches and Cream. You were like 17, 18 at the time?
Anywhere when I was 17. We could do it anywhere. Peaches and Cream, I was 19.
Okay, so when you did Anywhere,
I
remember school. You told me you were in high school and you hadn't had a lot of like experience in the bedroom yet.
No.
But you were writing these records that we've all lost our virginity to.
Yeah, perverted stuff. It was me using my imagination. I did the record with Deron Jones. He was a bit older than me, and at the same time, I had a very vivid imagination. And I'm from, I was raised in Atlanta. Everything, a lot of the kids are fast in Atlanta, man. So definitely using my imagination and thinking like, what do I think these girls would want to hear 112 sing? And it's like, being perverted.
And like honestly, how do you had you eaten enough box, I don't think you would have written Peaches and Cream like that.
Nah,
because shit does not taste like Peaches and Cream.
No,
you know what I mean?
No, I was hungry. And I was hungry, and I didn't have that much money. Me and my brother split a chicken sandwich that day. Went in the studio, and they had that beat for over 2 months. And they were like, "Man, you hear anything?" And I was like, "Na na 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 na." And I just start humming the melody immediately. Na 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 na. Then I was like, "Peaches and Cream," and then like Peaches and Cream, and I was just like, "Yeah, man." It's like, let's do something like nasty. Even Puppy was like, "Yo, Playboy, you sure Peaches and Cream?" I was like, "Man, I think it's edgy. I think it's, it's perverted." It's like, I don't know. And then it ended up being their biggest record to date.
Biggest record to date. Yeah. Pooh Bear, thank you so much, man. This has been an absolute honor to sit and talk with you.
Thanks, man.
The Book of Nabeel. Out this week.
Yep, out this week.
Very excited to hear that. And then Guns and Toilet Paper Around the Block.
Yeah, man.
Pooh, just keep doing you, man. You have inspired millions, and you got millions more to inspire.
Thank you. Great interview. Thank you for the great questions, man. It's always great seeing you and catching up with you, man.
Always, Pooh Bear.
Happy birthday.
Dash Radio has been supporting. Happy birthday, Pooh Bear.
Yes.
Until next time.
Happy birthday, Dash. Till next time.